Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Hairy Muppet. Welcome back to another Daily Masters for Starcraft 2. Excuse me for a second, I just gotta take a bit of a drink. Alright, so we're going to be playing a ZvZ game today with a couple of players that we have not seen in a very long time, if at all. Down the bottom side of the map, it is of course going to be TLO. And let's look up a little bit of facts about TLO. He is from Germany, which is most people should know if you've watched pro games for any amount of time. It is of course TLO, so people know a whole crap load about him. He is playing for Team Liquid, which is not the TL, it's actually the little one, it's not Team Liquid. I don't know who's confused about that other than me. So yes, he is also number 26 on the WCS with 2,200 points, so he's been doing a very, very good job this season. And yeah, up the top side of the map, it is going to be another Zerg player. So we've got a ZvZ going on today. His name is Nerchio. He is from Poland and he plays for Team Acer. He's currently number 58 in the WCS with 850 points. And right now, both players look like they're playing identically. I mean, we got the spawning pools coming down at the same time. We got the exact same harvest account. So pretty identical play. And it looks like they're both going for a fairly safe sort of play. So neither player going for the hatch first, both going for the spawning pool first, which is a very, very good idea when you're playing against another Zerg player, because if you go for a hatch first and they go for a pool first, they can just throw lings out all over the map. And it's not like you're a Terran player where you can just bunker up, or you're a Protoss player where one Zealot just owns everything. When you're a Zerg player and you're going up against a ton of lings, you need a ton of lings to defend. I mean, there's just no way around it. So if you don't get that spawning pool out nice and fast, then you are going to be pretty screwed. So let's exactly see what these players are going to go up to. They're doing pretty much the same sort of stuff here. It does look like Nerchio is going to be getting out his gas a little bit later, but he's going to be getting out the lings a little bit earlier. And what has TLO spent his money on that Nerchio does not have? I feel like it's this Overlord. I feel like no, Nerchio's already got the Overlord out, so I'm trying to figure out what TLO has spent his money on that Nerchio hasn't, because yeah, Nerchio is getting a whole bunch more stuff. I just do not know. I really, really don't, but it does seem like somehow Nerchio has got himself a little bit of a gap out here in this place. Somehow he's got a few more minerals out, squeezed a couple more out, and managed to go a little bit harder than TLO. That's the only thing I can think of, because I cannot think what else TLO actually has in front of Nerchio, which is sort of evening this out. But here we go. TLO is still going to have more than enough to sort of defend. I don't know if this is a complete block off, but these lings are going to get owned no matter what they do. And they're sort of trapped in here, so the queen is going to take out at least one of them. And here comes the other lings to finish them off. There goes one ling. The other ling going to be scouting around a little bit. And this queen, it's going to take forever for that queen to get over there. Going to be attacking the lings a little bit. These other lings going to be finishing them off, but one ling actually getting in. Not going to be seeing too much. And just a spawning pool with some speed on the way, no less than Nerchio probably expected. And there we go. TLO actually has built up quite a lot of lings, although Nerchio has not got any lings at all. So that's going to be a little bit worrying. He's building up 6 lings at the moment, but with speed about to finish, TLO is going to have a very, very nice amount of lings. Spinecrawler coming up. And Nerchio is going to try and defend this, but whether or not he's going to be able to, there's actually a ton of lings going nuts in here. The Spinecrawler almost certainly going to go down here. There it goes, but the lings of TLO are going to be taking a pounding from the workers and from the double queens. So they're trying to decide what to go for, but it all proves to be too much. They're going to back off, maybe going to get some workers. Going to take out a few workers here. And we do have quite a good job here, actually, from TLO. Managing to take out 4 workers. He's lost a crap load of lings from hitting that base. The 2 queens really, really taking their toll. And look at this. This queen has got 5 kills. I'm not sure where the other queen is. Let's get rid of that. Now, I think the other queen has moved back. But Nerchio, having built a crap load of lings, is now going to be facing up against TLO, who is building 2 spine crawlers. So it's going to be a complete reversal here. Although TLO has a little bit more to deal with Nerchio's forces than Nerchio had before, so I feel like he should be fine. Whether or not he'll cancel the second spine crawler or he'll just let it build is a question, but I'm guessing he's going to let it build and just pop it out the front here. Can maybe form some sort of gate, and TLO building a ton of that gas. He's really going for a lot of gas. This could potentially be for a large muta play. We can see him getting the lair as well, so the lair plus the triple gas definitely seems like TLO is going to be looking for some mutas at some point. And meanwhile, Nerchio is not really doing a hell of a lot. He's got a baling nest, which TLO is definitely lacking, and he can definitely start pumping out balings. Here we are, 11 balings, and it's going to be very hard, but TLO completely walling in, actually, with 2 spine crawlers behind that. So the Lings are going to be able to take this out, but it actually would be better if he took it out, because then TLO could just rebuild it completely. But here we go, the balings, they're going to finish this off nice and quickly. He's trying to heal it as fast as he can, and that will buy him some time. And Nerchio doesn't really want to use up his balings on a building, but he may not have any choice if he wants to get in there. There we go, decides to go for the building. Oh, look at that, but the Queen's forming a back base as well. The balings finally making it through, but only about 2 of them left over, and a bunch of Lings as well, so some workers are definitely going to die. The balings going for it, exploding, killing a couple of workers here. We do have 5 workers lost so far. Another baling goes off, and it goes up to 8, 9. The Lings finishing off a ton of workers here, but the Lings of TLO are in the mix, are going to be finishing this off. And look at how many workers have died so far. That is an incredible amount of workers. For this early in the game, for the pre-10 minute mark, he's lost 9 and 7 and all that sort of stuff. But Nerchio did lose 6 balings there. I feel like units lost doesn't count when the balings actually attack. It only counts when the balings are actually killed. So baling attack does not count as a unit's lost, although probably, I don't know if it counts on this thing. It must, because how else could you get that high? I mean, it just seems like it really would. Ling's coming up for another attack, but this is just going to try and knock some stuff back. Nothing really at this top side, but the Lings are going to follow him straight up. Balings as well going to be doing quite a bit of Ling damage, and the Lings from TLO just going to be running off, having done their duty to be harassing Nerchio. And Nerchio, with all of the gas geysers, with the lair coming up, maybe thinking about mutas as well, maybe thinking about a bunch of other options, but TLO definitely thinking about mutas, and he has got 7 out on the map, so mutas definitely going to be quite scary. And what has Nerchio got? Well, he does have a bloody Evo chamber. This is his first Evo chamber coming up, and he's going to need that for his spore crawlers, because he does not have any spore crawlers yet. There comes the first spore crawler. Actually, how is he building that? Has he got another Evo chamber somewhere? No, he does not. How is he building this if he does not have a Evo chamber built yet? I am extremely confused. And he must have had one started to build, and then TLO either cancelled his Evo chamber or something once the spore crawler started building, because he obviously needed the money for something else. But the mutas are coming in. There are spore crawlers on the maps though, so it's going to be a little bit difficult. And Nerchio taking advantage of the fact that TLO spent so much on mutas, just going to be running a whole ton of Lings all over the place. And you're going to try and move in, but this base is almost completely blocked off. Not quite. The Queen is going to be blocking this up. The spine crawler is going nuts. The muta is going to be finishing it off, and by the time the Lings get through, killing the Queen, they just do not have the power to take anything out. So far TLO doing a good job, but Nerchio getting an extremely good amount of spore crawlers. He's actually going quite nuts on the spores, or at least in his expansion he is. On the main base, he's only got 1 spore, but he does have 2 queens. So we're going to be seeing it actually. The Queen's starting to take quite a beating there. The muta numbers are quite high, and TLO just needs a large amount of Lings to be able to run in here and really do some damage. But Nerchio is going to be countering with some massive infestor numbers. 8 infestors and fungals are going to be quite devastating for this muta army. Can they make something happen in the main base here though? The Queens are going to go down like you would not believe, but man, great job at dodging the fungals from TLO. There are at least 2 fungals that came out there, and he dodged both of them. And now the infestor is going to come up, and with some Lings helping out the infestor army, I'm not sure what TLO can do to really deal with these infestors. He's going for roaches straight away. It's an excellent option because, of course, roaches have the health to deal with the infestors. The muta's actually going in. This is very, very crazy. They could get fungled at any second, taking out the queen, and running around. They've got the Lings in there as well, but the Ling army is going to be shadowing this other Ling army. And TLO going for a third base, but there are Lings going to be taking that down. Will TLO be able to knock these Lings away? Looks like he is going to be able to. And meanwhile, the Infestors just going to be jumping around, seeing what's happening. Maybe they're going to fungal these Overlords, maybe not. But the Lings buying time. They do not want to leave the Mutas free to go back and start harassing this main base, which they could very easily do because the Infestors are totally out of position. But they are going to be heading for this base, and they desperately want to start fungling the Mutas. But whether or not they'll be able to, I just do not know. They're right out here. Fungals, no, the Mutas are on the move, decided not to, but they could fungal a lot of workers. They could put out a crap ton of infested Terrans all over the place and could easily destroy a base. But TLO seemingly has no scouting at the moment, and here come the infested Terrans, and TLO is going to be thinking, oh crap. And I don't think he's got no overseers at all, so the infested Terrans, so the infested is just going to be running. The expansion goes down, not a damn thing that TLO can do about that, and he lost so many workers there as well. I feel like he's now lost 25 workers versus the 9 that Nerchio has lost. And that is almost a game-winning move right there. I mean, maybe TLO can salvage something out of this, but I feel like the answer is going to be no. I mean, he's got the third base, so he's still mining off the same amount of bases that Nerchio is, but the worker loss is going to be huge, and that's going to set him behind quite a bit. And he's still facing a massive amount of infestors with a Mutalisk army, so he needs to get the Roach Warrant up again. But that just shifted him backwards so much, and Nerchio has just got control of TLO, and all he needs to do is shift his forces over there, infested Terran all over the place, wipe out this base out, and then TLO is going to be screwed. He's going to be absolutely screwed. He's hanging on by a thread, I feel like, at the moment. I mean, pushing this base down is a decent option, but I mean, the base only got cancelled, and he only killed one worker, and that was the worker that was building it, so he's not going to be able to even up his worker amount at this point. He's not going to be able to build a ton of workers because he needs to build the roaches so desperately to be able to have some chance of countering the infestors. And how has he not built he has built one overseer, so that's something. So, alright, he's got one overseer. And the Mutas again going in, but the infestors over there. A nice fungal coming down. Another nice fungal coming down. These guys are all trapped. They're going to be chain fungaled all the way to death. And he may just use infested Terrans to take the rest out. So there we go. The Muta army going down. And this has got to be GG for TLO, man. He cannot hope to deal with this army anymore. He just cannot. I mean, economically, he's still 13 behind. He's getting out a decent roach army. He's currently up to 27, but Nerchio is up to 16 roaches, been getting out his own roach army to counter TLO's. And TLO just has nothing left. I mean, he's got roaches, but Nerchio has everything. He's got massive queens, he's got roaches, he's got lings, he's got infestors. And I do not see TLO with any chance of winning this game. Really just no chance at all. He's got to keep pushing on though. He's got to keep putting the pressure. We're going to have some infested Terrans for some sort of wall here. Fungal's trying to go down, and the Queen's going to be doing a ton of damage to the roaches. They cannot move because they're getting fungaled. Fungals keep on going, and TLO just giving the GG right there. So that's going to be it for him. Very well fought game, but the infestors in the end just turned out to be a great counter for the Mutas, and man, just wiping out TLO's expansion. Such a great move from Nerchio, and that basically won him the game. So there we go. Thank you very much for watching, and stay tuned tomorrow for another Daily Masters. This has been Hairy Muppet. I hope you enjoyed this game.